Same for the state.
Yes, court, this, my lord, the appearance is still the same for accused 1 to 4 defense. Court pleases.
Yes, the court pleases, my lord. The appearances are still the same for accused number 5.
Yes.
As the court pleases, my lord, firstly, we apologize for the late start. There were bail arrangements regarding accused number 2 that had to be made, and that is the reason why we have started late, my lord. And secondly, my lord, we are indebted to the court for your indulgence yesterday. And once again, we apologize to anyone who was inconvenienced by the fact that the matter had to be rolled to today. The witness is indeed present to today, my lord. Then thirdly, my lord, and somewhat disconcerting, there was an incident this morning involving this witness and members of the media.
Yes.
It was reported, my lord, that when the witness arrived at court, he was literally chased by members of the media with cameras wanting to take his photo. And my lord, this has petrified and unsettled the witness.
Yes.
My lord, whilst we support the media coverage of the proceedings, the events of this morning, my lord, are simply unacceptable. Yesterday, I informed the court that the witness that we arranged as a substitute witness has asked that his evidence be rescheduled. And my lord, is precisely this type of conduct by members of the media that will, or that might imperil the state case. My lord, intrusive and overbearing conduct by members of the media against witnesses is a cause for serious concern, my lord. We will request that guidelines be laid down regarding the treatment of witnesses by members of the media.
On that specific point, where you say guidelines ought to be laid down, which suggests that the media is unaware of limits. I'm not sure if I agree with that kind of reasoning, because I mean,
in this day and age where the media has been granted,
the latitude to feature where the need arises, especially in order to satisfy the public interest. They even have formations under which they lodge, most of them. My sense is that they come knowing, and the kind of behavior you are describing would have been deliberately staged for the one or the other reason. And I am one of the proponents of the protection of public interest, even in matters of this nature, but never at the expense of the quality of the proceedings that run in court. Because if what you are saying is what happened, my question would be, why do we still have them here? If that is the line of behavior we are going to have to contend with as from them. I mean, if you ask me, between the quality of the trial and the protection of a wanton disregard of limits by the media, I will choose the former for purposes of protection. So I don't know, were you not given details about what happened? And if so, why do we still have those culprits amongst us?
Well, in broad terms, that's what I've just alluded to. It's what happened, my lord. And it was so serious that the witness had to take refuge in one of the rooms where, you know, he currently is. And
are there no footages generated within this building as people move? Is it not possible to identify who was behind whatever perturbed the witness?
Unfortunately, my lord, I don't have that information, but I think my colleague who was here, you know, has got more information.
What was the input of were the court orderlies around?
I'm not aware about the presence of the court orderlies, but Advocate Mshololo and I think Mr. Tobani, to a certain extent, also witnessed this unfortunate incident.
Yeah, my simple sense is that there are footages. I mean, when people move within this building, it is possible to detect some of the movement. And those who would have been responsible for that kind of behavior can be easily identified. I mean, I don't agree with an approach where people behave in that way without consequences. I mean, we always say no one, including I that speak, is above the law. Why should the media be above the law? I mean, especially where it affects people that are coming to give testimony in this case. I mean, it's totally unacceptable.
Indeed, my lord, but our submission is perhaps the starting point. In addition to, you know, trying to obtain the footage, if strict guidelines can be laid down or reinforced, just for the protection of the witnesses. Otherwise, we'll have a situation where no witness will be prepared to come and testify, which will be, as indicated.
Mr. Baloyi, my problem with what you are saying is that it presupposes that there are no guidelines. Is it true that there are no guidelines?
Well, they are there, my lord, but there seems to be no adherence at all to those guidelines. Hence, we requesting that perhaps they be, reinforced and, with perhaps more stricter, broad outlines of what is expected of, members of the media. And
I hear what you're saying, because I want to believe amongst us here, there might be members of the media who are not guilty of that.
yes,
So what you are suggesting is that we paint them all with the same brush. And I'm saying, even as we continue here, somebody should be requested. I sometimes see Mr. Novella here. Is he not here today?
Just, there was a court order.
The court orderlies who were involved in the incident and the powers that be in this building should help us identify those who were behaving in that kind of a way. Because we will keep on reinforcing when people are well aware of
yes,
how they should behave.
yes. But my lord, the concern is it might take some time before the such identification via the footage, and meanwhile, we still need to have witnesses at court. So we
That is the issue. If we give the impression that because it takes time, we will never take the trouble. I'm saying we proceed with this case. The footage is available somewhere. Whoever is responsible should go and work on that footage. And I'm told that there was a court orderly who witnessed some of the things. As for our colleagues who witnessed some of it, if they are able to give a recount of what happened, in due course we shall be assisted. But those who are responsible should be identified, and we should be able to engage those. We can't use generalizations to get away with things that they deliberately engaged into, well knowing what the limits should be in terms of their behavior.
If I can come to the assistance of the court, my lord. Those who were involved, they were identified, my lord. They are known. It's SABC, ENCA, and Africa News. Those are the people who interfered with the witness outside, my lord. They are known. There is no need even to go on footage. And I've spoken to them, my lord. They have apologized. However, the feeling on behalf of the counsel before this court is that because there were guidelines, there were conditions that were set for them, their behavior has interfered with the court proceedings now. So they need to be banned from continuing sitting in this court because they are disturbing the proceedings of the court. They are known, my lord. It's not everyone. It's ENCA, SABC, and Africa News. Those three.
There you are, Mr. Baloyi.
Thank you, Your Lordship. Your Lordship, I just want to correct Advocate Baloyi. I was not there, never witnessed it. And even if Advocate Msholo, both of us were not there, but we were told who were the people, the culprits. I do agree with Advocate Baloyi that strict rules must be enforced, because even previously we did complain of other people taking accused photos and video footages while we consulting with them. And now it will disadvantage the accused themselves, because these witnesses, if the court says no, we ban any video footage, it will disadvantage the accused themselves, because they have already been known, but now the witnesses won't be shown. If the court can put it very clear that journalists must only deal with the proceedings of the court, not on the corridor running after witnesses.
But do you think they don't know that?
I'm not privy to the rules and guidelines that were set down in this matter, Your Lordship. So I'm not sure if...
No, I'm saying to you, they are aware of their limits.
If they are aware, Your Lordship, I think they need to be reminded and reprimanded because, Your Lordship, to ban them, it will cause a more delay in this matter. They might take it up and make an application through their own companies.
They might have to do that. We cannot allow a travesty to unfold because we are afraid that people will take us on from a legal point of view.
I agree. The reason why I'm saying so, Your
That
Lordship,
should happen. If it must, it must happen.
the reason why I'm saying so, Your Lordship,
the comfort of the witnesses and their sense of security is more important than all these other things that you are saying. This is an open court.
I agree with the court. Even the security and the comfort of the accused must also be protected. What I'm trying to say,
No.
Your Lordship,
We cannot
No, but-
reason that the security of the accused is protected by the media, and therefore it gives the media the latitude to behave as they should.
it's not what I'm saying. Hence, the court interrupts me. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, even before we warned them, they must not take accused videos and photos while we're consulting with them. And I don't blame even this journalist. You know why, Your Lordship? This matter, it originated from the media itself, from 1010 Productions, when they made a Netflix documentary 4 days before this matter was tried.
Mr. Tovan, you are giving an assessment about what I think.
But that's
That's what you would have done if you were running these proceedings. And I'm saying, from where I stand as the presiding officer in this case, this is how I see it. The media has to toe the line. And it has to toe a line it knows already. There's nothing new here. It's not their first time to pitch in a court. And those misdemeanors are committed from a situation of knowing very well what the limits are. And when I want to deal with it, you are rising to tell me how best you think it should be dealt with. I recommend the way you see it, but I must put in place measures that ensure the integrity of this case.
But
And
Your
there are so
Lordship,
many cases running in this country without the media. It doesn't mean the accused in those cases are unsafe. The presence of the media is an exception, Mr. Towan. And if that is what you want best, maybe you will end up joining if we take measures and they take us legally, they take us up on legally. Maybe that is what is.
no,
But
it's a
let
pity
me
the court
let me
interrupted
determine.
the court didn't understand me what I wanted to say.
I
The court-
understand what you are saying.
I'm not putting it to the court and ordering the court. That's my submissions. The court needs to make a decision. What I'm saying, Your Lordship, is that I'm not saying when they take videos and take cameras to the accused while we consult with them, I'm not saying they are safe. I'm saying it is uncalled for what they are doing. We've been also saying that they must not take the accused videos when they walk in, when they walk out, or when we consult with them. That's what we raised before. I think we raised this in chambers before we had a long adjournment, Your Lordship. And I don't want to waste the court's time and argue with the court in this regard. As I said, Your Lordship, of course, we need to come to a decision with regard to the behavior of those people who are being identified. As the court pleases.
I am saying, for purposes of the smooth running of these proceedings, and because that witness who ran as if running for dear life this morning is about to testify, that witness cannot testify before that issue is dealt with, number one. Number two, we are not going to experience delays because people knowingly came here and chose to behave as they did. And therefore, it means for me, those who are responsible are going to step out of this courtroom. They are going to where this issue is going to be threshed out, whilst we don't wait, whilst we proceed with this case. And
Sorry to interrupt, Your Lordship. Is it a decision of the court addressing me, or must I sit down?
no, yeah, you can sit down.
Thank you.
Those who were responsible for this whatever drama that happened affecting a witness that is coming to testify are going to step out of this courtroom. And I think I will request the secretary here, Mr. Nzakula, to run a process together with the court manager. They should sit down and discuss this thing, and I have to be assured of what is going to happen. I would have been adjourning this matter for that to happen, but we don't have time to waste, and those who did this did it not knowingly. So between broadcasting and making the witnesses feel secure and safe, I choose the latter. And therefore, I'm saying, I'm going to step out a little. Those who have been named should step out, go out to the court manager, go and thresh out an agreement. Quicker or slower, it's up to them. If I'm told that they have discussed the matter and this is not going to happen, and I can assure the witness that there won't be a repeat of the horror the witness experienced this morning, then I can proceed. I can proceed with them inside.